Kamala Harris had just an awful interview with Stephanie Ruhle. We're going to cover that and a whole bunch more. All right, here we go. All right, I cannot believe it is Thursday already. Welcome to the program. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. And man, oh man, do we have a lot to cover on the program this morning. The interview that Kamala Harris did with Stephanie Ruhle was a complete disaster. I'm here to tell you, and we're going to cover all of that and much more on the program today. I'm going to play some of the audio sound bites and everything else. I'm going to talk a little bit about the hurricane here in the beginning. Luckily, it is not hitting the part of Florida that I live in, thankfully. But a Category 4, they're saying, tonight in the Panhandle. And Category 4, that is nothing to mess with. That is pretty serious stuff. And remember, when they say category, whatever the category is, like Category 4, which is very dangerous stuff, Category 4, that means sustained winds at Category 4. That means there will be wind gust of Category 5, okay, which is the highest level. So that's off into infinity. And they're expecting a lot of storm surge. So those of you that listen to us online up in those areas and you're in an evacuation area and they tell you to get out, get out. Get out. Pretty scary stuff, hurricanes. Don't mess with them. And I can even tell here, even though this part of Florida is not getting the hurricane, I can tell yesterday afternoon we were getting some wind bands from the hurricane coming. All right, so we've got a lot to discuss on the show today. I can't believe it's Thursday already. I mean, this week just flew by. So Kamala Harris did this interview last night, and the interview was with Stephanie Ruhle. You know, we knew it was going to be a disaster. To do an interview with a friend of yours who is an out-of-the-closet fake journalist who openly hates Trump is meant to be a disaster from the get-go. You know, she was on Bill Maher the other day trashing Trump, Stephanie Ruhle. That's probably how this interview came to be. But as much of a Trump hater as Stephanie Ruhle is, make no mistake about it, she hates this guy like the plague. I don't understand why, but she does. She even Stephanie Ruhle had to challenge from time to time the nonsense coming from Kamala Harris. But Kamala Harris, what she really showed in that interview is yet again what a bird brain she is. She has these vacuous, meaningless talking points where she says nothing. We have to take a holistic approach to the situation, and you know what does that even mean? Nobody knows what this stuff means. But I give you an example of her stupidity. Let me play this clip. Okay, now hold on a second. I got myself playing there. Hold on, here we go. Okay, this is one clip, and this is what I'm talking about not the gobbledygookness, but just the stupidity of Kamala Harris as well as inconsistency.
Expanding that child tax credit, or you mentioned housing before, giving that extra money for a first home. If you can't raise corporate taxes, or if GOP takes control of the Senate, where do you get the money to do that? Do you still go forward with those plans and borrow?
Well, but we're going to have to raise corporate taxes, and we're going to have to make sure that the biggest corporations and billionaires pay their fair share. That's just it.
Okay, so there she said, let's just give an example of how stupid she is, okay? She says we've got to raise taxes on the corporations and the billionaires. It's got to be done to do everything. But then she goes on and she talks about tariffs. Now, tariffs are import taxes. Import taxes are tariffs, right? Tariffs are import taxes on foreign companies importing goods in the United States, right? Well, listen to this. This is Kamala last night, same interview.
Can I ask you about tariffs? Because you just mentioned it. It's not just with one company. Donald Trump's sort of big idea is this broad-based tariffs across the board. You and many others have said that would be not only disastrous, but it would be a direct tax on the American consumer.
It would be a sales tax on the American people. The independent economists have already measured this by the sales tax of doing a 20% tariffs on all imports that he has described would be a 20% sales tax, in essence, on basic necessities for the average American worker, average American family, totaling almost $4,000 a year.
Okay. Now, I know this is a lot of math and numbers this early in the morning. Maybe I should have waited till like 8:30 to play this. But this just shows the complete stupidity of Kamala Harris here, okay? First, she tells us we've got to raise taxes on the corporations in this country and the millionaires and billionaires. We've got to raise the taxes on all the American corporations and all the American millionaires and billionaires. And that's got to be done. But then she says if you raise taxes on foreign corporations that are importing goods into this country, that drives prices up. $4,000 a year, she says, on the average family. If taxing foreign corporations through the tariffs, import taxes, is passed on to the consumer, why is it that the domestic corporate tax increases are not passed on to the American consumer? Right? Taxes make prices go up. But and she agrees with that when it involves import taxes, the tariffs, but not the domestic corporate taxes. Now, I know this is a little heavy, for this hour of the morning. I don't usually talk about math. I hate math. I hated math. Always hated math through all of school, all the way through college. But this is just basic economics 101, and it's her contradicting herself. It shows not only is she a stupid person, but she's an incompetent person and a disastrous person. And it also shows she's really, when she's arguing, she makes a textbook, capitalistic view of what taxes do from the foreign perspective, but on the domestic, it's a whole nother thing. So what is this about? Is it just that she's stupid? Well, that's part of it. But a lot of it is, like most Democrats, she's owned by China. The import taxes affects all the countries that import, but mostly China. Her husband's company is in bed with China. He has CCP people that are working for him. And the entire Democrat Party is run by China. And China does not want those import taxes, the tariffs, raised. Now, Stephanie Ruhle, of course, doesn't ask her and point out these very basic economics 101 thing that I'm telling you right now, because she's there to help Kamala, not expose her for being an idiotic bird brain. But that's just in one interview. You know what's crazy? I think Kamala thinks she's brilliant. I really do. When I watch this interview, she seems to think she's pretty smart. If you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our first break of the day. My name's Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number is toll-free 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Now, I wanted to show you guys. I have not put my MAGA hat on yet because I wanted you guys to see my hair. I know it's crazy, right? I want you to see my hair, and I haven't worn a hat at all today because I'm going to start promoting tomorrow this water purification system, Angel Water. We're running recorded commercials, but I had it installed in my house a couple days, where I have all the purified water throughout my entire house. And my hair, without any conditioner, it's like it's been conditioned because the water's so purified. I wanted you guys to see it because you're going to hear me talking about it a lot. And if I put my hat on, it would have messed up my hair. I'd have hat head. I mean, this is crazy. From this purified water in my house, I have it throughout the entire house. I have a drinking water thing in the kitchen, but there's a unit outside that purifies all the water throughout the house. Shower, bathtub, toilet, sink, dishwasher, and everything. And I can even feel how much cleaner my skin is, but look how my hair looks like I used conditioner and I didn't. That's how good the water is. I know, isn't it something? It's crazy. I want you guys to see my hair, because I want to be talking a lot about it. So the people on the radio can't see my hair, but you guys can. I'm blown. And my skin, my wife was telling me this last night. It feels so good because when you got that purified water, it gets all the toxins and everything off of your skin that are left behind, soap scum and stuff that you're hard, the normal tap water is hard water. So you have all that hard water crap and soap scum on you that it gets off. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm just not sure the number that I'm going to be giving out, but I'm going to talk about it coming out of the break.
Call us today at 833 all year. That's 833 all year.
Brian Craig here. Our 6th annual cruise is coming up, and you're all invited. This time, we're sailing for 7 nights on Celebrity Cruise Line's newest ship, the Ascent to Puerto Plata.
I haven't washed any clothes with it yet. But I was just blown away when before I left this morning, I went into I went in to get dressed, and I saw my hair in front of the mirror. I didn't even use conditioner. And when I don't use conditioner, my hair is usually darker. And it's not so soft. It's amazing.
To the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True.
All right, 17 minutes after the hour. Call us on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. I was showing everyone watching me on YouTube my hair during the break, which seems kind of weird. I can't show you guys listening on the radio my hair, but I was showing everyone that watches me on YouTube my hair. And the reason I was, you've heard us running the commercials on the radio station here for Angel Water. And I have the Angel Water purification system. It's been installed in my house. They installed it a couple days ago. And it is absolutely amazing, by the way. All the water throughout my entire house, my sink, my showers, everything in my house goes through the Angel water purification system. And when I met with the guys from Angel Water, they were telling me, you're going to notice a big difference, you and your wife, in your hair and in your skin after you shower. And they told me, I'm like, okay, I never really thought too much about these things. And this morning, I got dressed, took a shower, got dressed and everything, and I saw my hair in the mirror, and my hair looks like I used conditioner, but I didn't. I don't use conditioner. I take a real quick shower in the morning, wash my hair with shampoo, and that's it, and I let my hair air dry, right? And when I don't use conditioner, my hair is usually darker than it is. It looks darker than it naturally would be. And without any conditioner, my hair looks like it's been conditioned. I'm like out of a hair shampoo conditioner commercial. My hair is so light and fluffy from having the purified water from Angel Water going through my shower in my house. It's amazing. I'll be telling you more about it as time goes on. And I probably shouldn't be telling you about it right now because I'm not sure which number that I'm supposed to give out. So, you know what? When the recorded commercial plays, I'll write down the number and give you guys the number. But you want to call Angel Water. I'll give you the number in a bit. And have Rocky come out and test your water. I've got the drinking water now. It tastes like Fiji water, but it comes right out of the spigot and at my sink. It's amazing, this Angel Water. It's like doing everything they said it would do and more. And my skin, my wife was telling me this last night, my skin feels amazing. Because I didn't realize the water that I'd been drinking out of my spigot and showering with was hard water filled with really poisons. Yeah. But I'll give you the number for Angel Water a little later. When the recorded commercial plays, I'll jot down the number. Because I'm not sure which number I'm supposed to give you to call Rocky over to Angel Water. But I'll be telling you more about that. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing I want to mention, then I'll go to the phones. The mayor of New York, right, with this indictment. This is not earth-shattering analysis I'm giving you on this. I think everyone knows what happened. Adams challenged the Biden regime with the illegals when they first started shipping them in here. Remember this? And that's why this happened. Remember they raided the home of his campaign manager for donations. Remember he was on a plane to D.C. He had to get off the plane before it took off because of the indictments. What they're doing to Mayor Adams is this very evil Kamala Harris, Joe Biden regime showing other Democrats what will happen to you if you challenge them on transporting South America to the United States of America. If you challenge it, if you're vocally opposed against it, if you don't step in line and lockstep and just follow orders, you could get indicted too. Because I got news for you. Yeah, Mayor Adams is probably corrupt. All the Democrats are corrupt, okay? All the Democrats are corrupt. All right, let's take some calls. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff, what's up?
You know, those taxes on big corporate just get passed down to the consumer because stock shareholders want to make money. And that doesn't only affect the consumer, but the gas prices, transportation, delivering stuff. It affects everything. Tariffs do affect us somewhat, but not as much as the tax on corporate.
Well, you know, it's amazing to me that Kamala Harris will tell you how prices will go up if you raise taxes on foreign corporations, but in the same breath tells us we have to raise taxes on American corporations. That makes no sense. She's saying two different things.
And, you know, and that's their way of saying we're not going to raise your taxes, just business. And only the liberal brainwashed people don't understand that any tax on American companies is a tax on the consumer, us the people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because it raises the cost of whatever it is. So they have to pass the cost on to the consumer. That's right.
And we're sick of the taxes. We need tax cuts, and that's what Trump's going to do, and he's going to drill day one, close the border, deport these illegals, rebuild the military. Everything that they've done to affect our country has hurt our country. Mm-hmm. Everything Trump does helps our country. Mm-hmm. It's black and white. And, you know, I think more and more Democrats are coming over. They may not say it, but I think we're going to see a big influx of voting Democrats.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that the key to the battleground states, and even Trump, the Republicans and Democrats agree, is the young voter, the new voters. We need to get the message out to them. People need to, you know, we need to catch people when they're young. I had a sister that was a Democrat till she moved to Texas, and she was a federal court reporter, and when Bush got elected, the taxes went down, and she made more money. Mm-hmm. Went to Republican and never turned back.
That's right.
I think the money thing is what can catch the young people's eye and understand the.
Well, you know, it's an interesting thing. You know, we talk about this Gen Z, you know, and they're into different things than we're in. And I give an example. They're into spending money. Don't get me wrong, but they're not into like buying houses and stuff like we are. It's like an investment, you know, our generation. And I give an example. Ian, our travel agent from Cruise and Travel Depot that does our cruises, he was telling me that, when you're, as a travel agent, when they're selling to Generation Z are into using their money to buy experiences throughout life. My generation, we want to have a house, we want to have it paid for, we want to have some money, we want to be able to retire with a paid off house and all that stuff. And when your life is spent on nothing but experiences and the prices are going up, they're feeling it in ways that maybe we don't, right? And the Gen Z vote, the youth vote, is swinging hardcore towards Trump, which is insanely unusual to have the young vote, the 18 to 25, 18 to 30, go Republican. That never happens, not in large numbers. And it's all because of the inflation.
It's the economy, stupid. I think that's the thing. The border is number one in most Americans' eyes of what's wrong in America, but the number two is the economy.
I think it's backwards than that. I think it was the border, and that's not that it's not important, but I think the economy and the inflation is number one because, people got to eat. They got to put gas in their car. You know what I mean? So I think since the primaries had switched a little bit because people got to, you got to live. Then you got to worry about the border.
Paper bag full of groceries cost me like $80. That's absolutely ridiculous.
I know. I got yesterday. With some of this on my podcast. My wife's disabled, so she can't do a lot of cooking and stuff. Okay, it's just too difficult for her. So we don't do a lot of cooking. So we buy a lot of prepared things, But there's just the two of us, and we don't eat that much. I have a little bit of a vice. I love chicken tenders. And I got some chicken tenders from Publix. I saw the price on the bag. I couldn't believe it. If I knew how much they were going to be, I would have gotten maybe half of the ones that I got. You understand what I mean? And it's not that I didn't have the money, but you got to. Sometimes things are just a little too expensive. You got to get some value out of your money. And I'm thinking about what it was like when I had a baby and my wife and I were newly married and I was young. I don't know how I would have gotten by if my daughter was like at elementary school age right now. It's because you're just, young couples are just starting out in life. And, you don't have a lot of money and you got to buy everything for your kid. That generation of Americans are going to vote in Republican in larger numbers, I think, than Republicans have received from the youth vote ever, maybe.
Yeah, the young people, families with children are the most affected because everything from, in the cost of living, from food to clothing. Clothing's through the roof.
And do you notice, exactly, and you notice how these liberal callers like, which was it one, Jay from Jersey, all of a sudden, he's got a wife and kids and all this crap. Because, he's got he never mentioned he had a wife and kids before, but he wants to act like he understands because he's got a family, because he's heard me ask, a lot of these liberals that call in have no families. They just have to take care of themselves, so the prices don't matter that much. They just got to pay for themselves. Well, and if you heard some of the calls yesterday, they're hookers too. But, when you don't have a family to support, it's bad. My daughter moved to Los Angeles because rents are cheaper in Los Angeles than they are here in Florida now. That's why she moved to Los Angeles. She works remotely. She does online work. She can work anywhere. She works when she's on the cruise with me. So it's that generation are more conservative than the youth have ever been, in my view.
And another thing that's affecting young people is they don't go shopping anymore. They do it online. And I believe in my heart of hearts that we need to shop local and use cash because that affects small businesses the best in your area. You can get kids to understand that. Your economy is most effective.
Yeah, but you go in someplace and pay cash these days. Sometimes they don't know what to do. This happens on occasion, but I made one YouTube video about this at Chipotle. I paid with cash, and the cashier didn't even know how to make change. She really didn't. She didn't know how to make change because she doesn't do it. Hey, Jeff, I got to run, but thanks for the call. Good call. All right. We'll take our break for the bottom and be right back.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldest forecast.
Hey, I need the phone number from the spot for Angel Water. I'm not sure if the number I'm giving out is the one on their website or not. There's a spot, the one with me. I'm sure they're the same number on all of them, but I think the only one running might be with me. I'm not sure. You can just tell me if you see it, if you play it. I think it's the one I have is 899-6585 on their website.
And remember, the all-year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic.
I meant to check before the show. I forgot.
Delay free and crash free on the Turnpike at 95, north and south, Rejuvenator, Palm Beach, West Palm, and Lake Worth. In Boynton Beach, construction with a road closure. Lawrence Road between Hypoluxo Road and Lantana Road. You can use Military Trail as your alternate. This traffic update is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes it easy to save money.
Should be. Is it 899-6585?
You'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit progressive.com. That's progressive.com. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Behind the scenes, guys, of a radio station.
Dinner show season is here. Get your tickets now for comedians Goomba Johnny Saturday, September 28th, and Jimmy Fallon November 15th.
6585?
Miss three-course dinner show
That's what's on the website. 899-6585.
November 8th, Benny Nix November 22nd, and more. The Paddock is also your best bet for OTV action and football Sundays with over 140 HD TVs and 3 big screens. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, that's the one on the website. Well, sometimes the companies have more than one number, you know, right number.
Online, AppletonCairo.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. I am pleased to say our relationship with the Steve Kane Show and the show's listeners keeps getting stronger and stronger. The Steve Kane Show listeners are truly the best customers we have ever had. They are courteous, diligent, honest, and quite a joy to work with. We have completed thousands of projects for the listeners from repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches with great success, and every one of those customers family. We have installed all kinds of roofs from asphalt shingle.
I spilled coffee on my new shoes.
Standing
Oh, well.
seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. So come on.
Luckily, they're not my white vans they're in.
Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at Laporta Contracting.
Better my shoe than the
Number again,
control board.
954-604-4602. 4602.
La Bamba Restaurant, a family-owned authentic Mexican restaurant for 33 years. Come on in for a delicious taco salad, steak quesadilla, or a cold margarita. La Bamba is located at 730 US Highway 1 in North Palm Beach. Check out labamba123.com.
We'll be back right after this.
Hormones to where they were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, have more energy, and even get your sex drive back. And for women, hormone replacement pellet therapy can completely stop and reverse the signs and symptoms of menopause. No more mood swings, better sleep, and no more night sweats. Call Dr. Matez for a free consultation today at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show. Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years.
All right, 35 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. All right, let's just go to the phones. I brought up a couple things already. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, this thing that you just played, this interview, is like everything else she's done and probably will do. It's like watching the towering inferno. It's a disaster, you know? That's what this thing is. Every time she does something like this, and you can book it that she's, at some point, she's going to end up on 60 Minutes. Come on.
Yeah. Well, you know, she just doesn't have any experience doing anything. You know, Kamala Harris, her idea, you know, if you're struggling, you just call up an older man and say, hey, the car payment's coming, and you go out on, you know, you do what you got to do, and then all of a sudden the car payment's paid, right? You know, so that's not how regular life works, Kamala. All right, I appreciate the call, Mike. Yes. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Hey, Richie.
Yeah, you know, let me say this to you. Sometimes people don't fact check her right as she's going along. You know when she talks about the commitment for the houses that she's going to build?
Mm-hmm.
It's half of what's built every year in the United States. And she doesn't even know that. And I bet you people don't know that. Google that. You'll find the amount of units that are built in the United States every year is twice as much.
Well, you know, what she's talking about, she's talking about giving people down payments for houses, okay? The reason, I don't think it's a tax credit. She's actually talking about money. She's talking about a tax credit for the parents the first year. But regardless, the reason that a down payment is required to buy a house is so the lender knows you are committed to keeping that house. Typically, you put 20% down is the minimum. And when in 2008, we had a major financial crisis because of housing foreclosures. And the correct name of that crisis was the subprime mortgage crisis. And the subprime mortgage, the Democrats passed laws to allow people with bad credit to get approved for mortgages with no money down. And I'm talking about 2008 prices. People were buying houses that cost $400,000 or $500,000 with no money down. They had massive payments, and if they can't make the payment, they just left because they didn't have a down payment invested. So it caused that entire financial crisis in 2008 was caused by those liberal subprime loans with no money down. You give people money to put down, you give people money to put down on a house, you're going to have the same thing happen.
Little mortgages, when like, for example, you're paying $100 a month for a house, and then at the end of the fifth year, it goes to $4,000 a month. So people, and they had commercials on television. You remember those commercials? I'll show you how to buy 10 houses without putting any money down.
Yeah, exactly. All those things, all liberal things. You know, so you want people to put down, like when I bought my house that I live in now, I've lived in my house for 20 years. Before that, my wife and I had a condo. We sold the condo. We put 50% down on our house. Now, I know most people can't do that, and we were very lucky because we sold at a good time. We had a good condo. but we put 50% down on our house. No matter what, we were going to make that mortgage payment, right? If I, because not only would we lose the house, we lose all the down payment money. You give people you give people a new house where they have nothing invested in it, just a monthly payment, which is like rent. And by the way, people like that buy houses they can't afford, right? I'm very conservative when I bought my house and things like this. Because I bought a house beneath my means. I could go out and get a bigger house right now if I wanted to, but I'm smart, But they buy houses that they can't afford. They move 10 people in. They can't afford the rent. They leave. Next thing you know, every other house on the block is being foreclosed on. It's awful.
And that tariff that President Trump wants to put on, I'll make it simple for people to understand this. You want to buy a car, and it's coming out of Mexico, and the car is $10,000. Okay, you want to buy a different manufactured car that's made in the United States is $15,000. You're going to buy the Mexican car because it's cheaper, but all that money goes to the Mexican workers. What President Trump is trying to do is by putting that tariff on that car, you're going to buy the American car, which is going to put money.
Well, with the tariff, the import, you're exactly right. The import taxes, the reason for the import taxes is to get them to move their car manufacturing to the United States. To have a car manufacturing industry for a country, you have to have a population that can buy the cars, right? And in Mexico, not many people that live in Mexico can afford the new American cars that are made there. So we're the market. Same thing in China, So you put an import tax on, force the company to move here. I want you to think about it. China's pretty far away. It's cheaper to make things in China, put them on a ship and ship them across the Pacific Ocean here. That's how bad regulations and taxes have gotten on. No, believe me. Trump knows exactly what he's doing.
I'll also make it to the MAGA hat, okay? The MAGA hat that most of your MAGA hats that you're wearing that come from Trump, you're going to turn them over and you're going to see made in the USA.
All of them.
Yeah, you go to a flea market, you'll see the same MAGA hat made in China for $5.
That's right.
So in other words, what he's trying to do is say, hey, you're going to buy American product, and we're going to start making. He did it with the washing machines, man. Whirlpool. He saved Whirlpool.
But, and I'll tell you this thing. And I bet a lot of you have this similar experience. Your parents, like my mother has some of the same appliances and things I had when I was a kid growing up in the house. I'm buying stuff all the freaking time.
Your story. We bought from BrandSmart USA, the top of them when I moved here, the top of the line, double stacked Samsung with all the computers on it, okay? The dryer and the washer, the side load, okay, not the top load. It cost me a bundle of money. Brian, I'm telling you something. What happened was the wash machine went bad. I called up everywhere. It was an LG. So I call up
Korean.
The guy, and the guy says to me, we throw it out.
That's right. Well, how exactly? The old appliances and mixers and tools. I have some of the tools that my grandfather, who's been dead since 1987, had. They store stuff they make now in China or Mexico or Taiwan is meant to break. Remember the old days? The TV repairman would come to the house, the washing machine repairman, the dryer repair. I've had the same thing, right? My TV breaks, I throw it out and get a new one, or my dryer breaks, I get a new dryer or a new washer. Yeah, exactly. I had the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, BrandSmart, I bought the Curve TV at that time.
The Curve TV? Oh my goodness, the Curve TV. You fell for that?
But this was the top of the line that had all the print. This was at the time it was $8,600, $5,400. Believe it or not, it went after 5 years. I called the guy up and said, "Throw it out." I said,
"Throw it out." Yeah.
Work on him.
They don't work on them. Yeah.
And I mean, it's so, everything is garbage, total garbage.
You can't, and it's because it's made overseas. If they started making that stuff, if they started making these things in the United States, they would be of a better quality, and there would also be a parts industry that we don't have any. I know we're doing a lot of heavy economics on the show today, but my wash, I have the front load washer and dryer. I've gone through this is my third set of them, right? They only last a couple years, right?
He told me they're garbage and they break down and then you're done. They don't even look at them. They won't even come to your house.
No, they won't. No, they won't. All right, take care, Richie. Appreciate the call. But, so break it all down. Trump, when it comes to making money, Trump knows what he's doing. Right? When I talk about Joe Thomas, I say, you want to, when you're dealing with financial things, you want to deal with someone who's successful financially, right? Like Joe Thomas and same thing with Trump. You want when you're looking at economic issues, you want to go to someone like Trump who's financially successful in the business world, not some guy that's broke or some woman that hooks up with sugar daddies to get her jobs and things like that. That's not the economy, not the kind of economy I want to be a part of. Okay, now I'm going to give you guys the number for Angel Water. I was talking about Angel Water earlier, and I wanted to make sure I had the number right. And if you're just tuning in, you've heard the recorded commercials for a little while here on the show with me talking about Angel Water and their purification system. Angel Water installed their Angel Water purification water system in my home a couple days ago, and it is amazing. It is far and above anything I expected. Rocky from Angel Water came out to my house and tested my water, which was filled with all these toxins and poisons, including I had chlorine in my water that was 3 times the amount of chlorine that's in a public pool. And there's a lot more chlorine in a public pool than the pool in your backyard. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, the water, I've been drinking the water the last couple days. It's like Fiji water. It's amazing. But what I noticed this morning, which just blew me away, is my hair. Rocky from Angel Water told me this, okay? He says, you and your wife, your hair is going to be like it's conditioned. And I don't use hair conditioner, okay? I just get in the shower, wash my hair, get out, and let it, I towel dry it and let it air dry. My hair this morning looks like I filled it with hair conditioner. It is light, it is fluffy, and it's the color is much lighter than it normally is. Having that purified water system in my house is amazing. All the water in my house is purified with the Angel Water Purification Center system. My showers, my sinks, my toilets, my dishwasher, my refrigerator water, my sink. I've got it's all, and it's a big difference. I am telling already, and my skin feels cleaner than it has felt ever in my life. I did not know that the water coming out of my spigot was hard water. Listen, call Angel Water. Okay, I'm going to give you the number. Have Rocky come out. He'll test your water. They came out to my house last Saturday and tested my water. Oh, my goodness. Poison. I've been drinking poison. But they'll test your water, and you get the Angel Water Purification System. You are going to love it, too. Here's the number, 561-899-6585. 561-899-6585. That's 561-899-6585. All right? Make sure you tell them that I sent you. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Is low team keeping you on the bench? Become the superstar you dream of being at Game Day Men's Health. With expert licensed staff trained with clinical research, Game Day Men's Health crafts a playbook specialized for you to raise your testosterone levels.
And the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse. Mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School...
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr.
And the best economists...
Don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, Dr. Gupta. I go
Yeah, I wanted to show you guys before I got hat head, but you can see. Can you see? My hair looks lighter than it normally does. It's amazing. Like it's conditioned. Look at that. And I've got gel in my hair too. You know, that what that purified water has done to my hair is amazing.
922-4633. 954-922-4633. Have you noticed that the water in Florida is just like
Here's the recorded commercial.
It has an odor. It doesn't taste good. It leaves residue on dishes and appliances. With an Angel Water purification system, you'll enjoy soft, toxin-free, healthier water for your family. Angel Water will come to your home and test your water for free. He'll set up a whole house water filtration system for your home. Plus, give you a complimentary reverse osmosis water treatment system. Call Angel Water Purification right now at 561-899-6585 and online angelwater.com. It's the My Pillow blowout sale of all time. Get the My Pillow that started it all. Just $14.95 with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. It's made in the USA and comes with a 10-year warranty. Don't wait. Order yours through mypillow.com/Kane. That's mypillow.com/Kane. And use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout.
And now a message from Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even doubled. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales, 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation removal, rat proofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off Radiant Barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet. Plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now, 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or cutmykilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
Alrighty, we are back. 9 minutes before 7. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Our number 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I bumped into President Trump yesterday when I left the radio station, kinda. This was crazy. I was taking I-95 home, and the president's motorcade was going to Trump Force One. And this is the first time I've seen his motorcade since that guy tried to kill him at the golf course. I am here to tell you that the security around President Trump is at least equal, if not greater than the security he had in his first term as president. President Trump said the other day that he's got more soldiers and security around him than ever. I saw it yesterday. And what happened, I was driving south. I was at the radio station a little late yesterday doing some stuff after the show. And I interviewed a man you're going to hear from who's running for Congress here in South Florida. So I left a little late, and I'm driving southbound on 95, and Trump Force One is parked at the Palm Beach Airport, which is on Southern Boulevard. And Southern Boulevard, it's a direct drive from the airport where Trump Force One is in Mar-a-Lago. And the highway patrol had the exit ramps blocked. And there was and not only did they have the exit ramps blocked, they had it way down the ramp. You couldn't even get close to Southern Boulevard. And there was a long line of cars blocked at the exit ramps. And I saw there was no traffic on the roads. There were helicopters everywhere. I looked up above, there were helicopters everywhere. President Trump gave that speech yesterday, and I saw the president's motorcade come. I've not seen so many police sirens in my life. And it was amazing the amount of security around President Trump. Now, obviously, they've reluctantly done it. There's been 3 assassination attempts with the new Iranian one that we know of. And finally, they've done something. But the amount of security around President Trump is amazing. I was blown away by it. I was really blown away by it. And, I have mentioned this a little bit, but I didn't mention it at the time. But just a few months ago, the security that in his motorcade was insane. I was up at Mar-a-Lago, and I saw President Trump's motorcade leaving Mar-a-Lago. It was 3 or 4 cars, and he was in one of them. And they got stopped by a red light. I couldn't believe it. President Trump, his motorcade was stopped at a red light, and I thought, well, this is insanely and stupid, but they didn't have enough vehicles to go ahead and stop the traffic at the intersection. They had to stop at the red light. Can you believe that? A funeral procession, they have enough to go and stop the red lights, but his didn't, and I thought that was crazy, especially since he's running for president and all. This was before Butler. But what he has now, he has an army around him. Not only an army, he's got an air force. And the helicopters that I saw flying above, I was amazed. It was a beautiful sight. So he's well protected now. Finally. Took 3 attempts in like a month, and they finally have done the right thing. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
PJ from Broward.
Hey, PJ.
Hey, what happened last night with that Kamala interview on MSNBC? That's a result of not being vetted during a primary. That's exactly what that is. I mean, let's say that last year at this time, Biden says, I'm just getting too on in years, so I'm just not going to run. And if they would have had an open primary, she would have been vetted out.
Well, it's like that thing I played yesterday with her talking about legalizing prostitution. All these things would have come out in the primary. This is why she got vetted out of the first primary after that debate with Tulsi Gabbard. That's exactly right. Yeah.
She was vetted out very quickly in that first one. I remember that.
And that
until the end of the year, and she didn't make it into
2019
year.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is, can you imagine right now the absolute hell that's going on? Because I know what she's like in private. Can you imagine the hell that her staff is suffering right now? That she's probably blaming them for the disaster.
Oh, nothing's her fault.
Yeah, so there must be hell going on. Here's the thing. You know what? When you have a staff turnover rate of what is it, like 90%? There's something wrong there. It's just
and there are certain jobs that are so pristine, people put up with a lot of crap. Okay, for people to leave jobs working in the White House, it has to be really bad, like the worst bully boss you could imagine.
Yeah. So that's pretty bad. By the way, did you catch the look on? Afterwards, when Stephanie Ruhle was being interviewed by Nicole Wallace, you see that video?
A little bit of it, yeah.
Well, the part was the interview started out. She was Nicole asked her about the interview, and there was a big smile on her face. And when Stephanie Ruhle said something along the lines of she didn't really answer the questions, you saw that smile melt right off of Nicole Wallace's face. That was amazing to watch.
It was so bad that Stephanie Ruhle even has criticized her own performance. I mean, it was bad. It was bad because she's vacuous. She's just vacuous.
Another indication, a tell, I would call it, that the interview was bad. Check right now. Go check the Drudge Report. You see absolutely nothing about that interview on there.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. Yeah.
Go to Drudge Report. There's nothing about it. So that's pretty much it. You know that if she did spectacular, it would have been on there, or whatever. But or even if she just did. Okay.
No, the interview's going to fade away. The interview's going to fade away real quick. They'll use the hurricane as an excuse to fade it away, but it's going to be gone. And that interview was supposed to be a big deal to help her, but even MSNBC can't prop it up as something.
Yeah, I'm going to check Morning Joe in a few minutes.
Oh, really? Really? Anybody else that might be on against me that people might want to check out?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I mean, I'll check it out.
What else is any other radio stations people want to tune into other than me? I appreciate it, Rich. PJ. No, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You know, that's okay. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate the call, PJ. Oh my goodness. I know. It's okay. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break for the top of the hour. When we come back, we'll take some more calls. You know, the hurricane is coming, and you guys over there in the part of Florida getting hit by these winds, if you have any roof damage where you need repairs or replacement, call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. His number, 954-604-4602. He covers the whole state of Florida, guys. 954-604-4602. He can also, when it comes to condo communities, HOAs, he can handle communities of any size, no matter how many buildings there are, or just your single-family home as well. 954-604-4602 for Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. All right, it's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. We'll be back after this.
Still down, so I can't.
Oh, which one is it? Oh, I didn't know. I would have hit it. Okay.
Choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Marone from the All Your Cooling Weather Center. Today is Thursday, September 26th, 2024, and right now it's 80 degrees outside. As we go throughout the day, though, temperatures are going to reach as high as 89 degrees with windy conditions all day. A tropical storm warning until 1:15 p.m., as well as a flood.
Madam Vice President, you just laid out your economic.
Installation. Visit allyourcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Up to speed and moving smoothly on the Turnpike and 95 north and south through Delray Beach.
President, you just laid.
North and West Palm. Construction with a road closure in Boynton Beach, Lawrence Road, between Hypoluxo Road and Lantana Road. You can use Military Trail as your alternate. This traffic update is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial, auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Out to the poker room. Open every day with 65 tables of poker action, including cash games, daily high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and exciting tournaments. Bet small and win big with table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or three-card poker with just a $5 minimum all day, every day. Exciting poker and table game action 7 days a week at PBKC. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
The Redback Price Reductions Kia Sales Event will be held at one location only. See the Kia of Greater Orlando, just off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot.
Make that switch. Make that switch to City Kia.
You know, I made a really good video of Tom Laporta doing a complete roof replacement. And I'm going to make it public on YouTube after the show. So if you guys could watch that, I'd appreciate it. It's a beautiful house. Oh my goodness. It's a mansion. Alrighty, hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Call us on hold, stand by. You know, a lot of polls, if you've noticed, polls have been coming out in a way that I've never seen polls come out before. Never. A lot of the polls that are coming out are showing you not just what the polls are showing today, but what those same polls said 4 years ago. And I've seen a lot of them. Here's one. I'm just going to share one. This is a poll that was done of Notre Dame students. Notre Dame students. Listen to this. In 2020, this is 4 years ago, 2020, Biden, among Notre Dame students, Biden was polling at 66%, Trump at 29%. So in 2020, Biden had a 37-point lead in the poll of Notre Dame students. A 37-point lead. 66 to 29. The latest poll of the Notre Dame students gives it to Trump 48 to 46 against Kamala. That is a huge gain, man. That's a 40-point gain in Trump's favor. That is insane. That's just one poll. I'll go over some more later maybe, but these comparisons are so powerful because if you don't see without the comparison, oh, so what? He's up by 2. Yeah, well, he was down by like 40 last time. Now he's gained 40 in the same poll. You understand? It puts perspective on things. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Roz. How are you?
All right, Roz. What's up?
I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. One, about a radio station that I'd like to watch, and it's called The Brian Craig Show.
Oh, okay.
And I think that you're number one. I think you should be number one above
Yes.
Beck and the other person.
They should just have me on all radio stations everywhere. That'd be nice.
No, I'm serious. You really go into detail. And not only that, but you really stick up for President Trump like crazy.
Well, I appreciate that.
No, I'm serious. And, you know, this interview by Kamala, Bozo the Clown could do a better job. This woman doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, she's a bird brain, complete airhead.
Yes, all she does is laugh. And there's nothing funny. She just laughs and laughs and laughs.
You know, one thing about Kamala that I find interesting, her father is alive. Why don't we ever hear or see her father? I don't even know where he is, but I know he's alive. He didn't go to the convention. And her father and mother were college professors. Where are their papers and lectures and things like this? Especially the father, who was an activist. Both of her, when you're a tenured professor, you have to publish. Her parents have all kinds of papers that they published. They have their college lectures. I know that they were part of panels and group discussions that had to have been filmed. We haven't seen any of them because they're Marxists, probably. And the media aren't even asking for it. Just like they're not asking they're not asking for any photos or videos of Kamala Harris in a courtroom arguing a case in front of a jury. I think I'm the only person that's even talked about that. I don't think it's occurred to anyone. Have you heard others talk about this?
No, absolutely not. And I agree with you 100% that I think that she did not take the bar test. I think that Willie Brown got her in.
I don't think she ever passed the bar. I really don't. I think he got her passed. I really do. And you know, she runs around talking about all these cases she's prosecuted. And I think what you would find is that these are cases that were prosecuted by the offices that she oversaw, like she was Attorney General or the prosecutor in San Francisco. Believe me, if there was photographs or video of her prosecuting a criminal case in front of a jury, we would see it. I've been talking about this for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it's amazing to me that no one in the media has thought of this.
Oh, they know about it. They just don't want to talk about it because they don't want to give any credit to President Trump. That's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
President Trump is number one in my book. I voted for him twice before, and I'm voting for him this time as well. And I hope and pray that he gets in because he's the only smart one that knows how to run this ship.
Ship with a P. You're absolutely correct. Thank you for the call. She said ship with a P. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Okay. First thing, I'll second everything that lady just said about you being number one. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Now,
sucking up is nice.
When President Trump, the figure said the Democrats, I call them the Democrats, can't ever get anything right. When President Trump made the tariffs and took billions of dollars in, it didn't increase hardly anything. Why? Because if Americans have to pay a lot of money for Chinese goods, they won't buy Chinese goods. So China took the hit, and they lost the money. They just reduced their prices. So they paid the tax and didn't increase the prices. So they don't know what the hell.
You know, and this whole thing that there's no, that like Kamala in this interview last night, I stand for the union jobs. There are not that many union jobs anymore like there used to be because the manufacturing mostly went to China because of the Democrats, So I don't know what she's talking about.
And like you said, but meanwhile, her philosophy is her theory is if you increase the taxes on goods coming in, but it won't. It'll increase the prices. But if you tax American companies, it won't. I mean, these people don't know what the hell they're talking about. It's really sad.
Well, she wouldn't get away with that with me, and of course, I would not ask her this first. I would sneak it in and catch her off guard. But, Madam Vice President, you said in the debate you're a gun owner. What type of gun do you own? And then I would ask her a whole bunch of questions about that. And because I think she lied. She lied. She got busted in a big lie, too. I'll play this while you're here. Okay, this is a clip of Kamala at the debate, okay?
The best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse. Mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit.
Okay, so when she said that in the debate, I was kind of disgusted, especially by the Wharton School that they're attacking their most famous graduate, President Trump. Well, the Wharton School of Business said that she made that up, that they never said that. And by the way, the Goldman Sachs CEO said that what she said was also made up. So both Goldman Sachs and Wharton have said that Kamala made that up. She just made that. Now, I don't know if she made it up or her speechwriters, and she just said what they trained her to say like a seal, but it's not true. And both Goldman Sachs and the Wharton School of Business said that it is not true. She was lying.
Typical Democrats say what they want to say, lie, and figure that they get away with it, and nobody's going to. Man, oh man! The other thing I'd just like to say is quickly about the mortgages that failed. most of the people were paying their mortgages. But when the house went from $500,000, let's say, down to $300,000, people said, "All right, I'm not going to keep paying for a house like that."
Exactly, and they walked away.
So they walked away. Yeah, I mean, like, somebody like you had no choice. You put 50% in, and me too. I had so much money.
Well, I got mine when the market was low before it went up. I got lucky. Like I say, I could not afford to buy a house in my neighborhood. One of my neighbors bought a Porsche a couple weeks ago. He paid more for that Porsche than I paid for my house when I bought it. Think about it. Think about that. I mean, you think I couldn't buy a house on my street right now?
I went into to see the new Infiniti QX80, and it's just way too much money for these things. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
All right, take care. All right, I appreciate the call. All right, now I want to talk to you guys about, of course, Dr. Appleton and his laser wave pain treatment. His laser wave pain treatment will rid you of pretty much every pain I've ever heard of. Arthritis, bronchial neuralgia, bursitis, hip pain, knee pain, lumbar pain, herniated disc, sciatica, tinnitus, tennis elbow, neck pain, stenosis. Did I mention back pain? Whatever type of pain you have, he can treat it with his laser wave pain treatment. And you know what? The laser wave pain treatment from Dr. Appleton, it works. It's absolutely amazing. It works. He rid me of pain 5 times. The knee, the first thing that he rid me of pain from, I suffered pain in my knee since I was 20 years old. And 2 treatments, the pain gone, and has not returned. It's been over 2 years. Give Dr. Appleton a call. Remember, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. It's Thursday, getting close to the weekend, even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
What time does Barry call in today? 7:40. Okay.
Typical deposits other contractors want are one-fourth contract. If your job is $30,000, it's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, it's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit, and HOAs much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Reporting is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and they'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Report a contracting
We'll be back shortly, guys. Now, guys, I'm going to, right after the show, I'm going to make public a video that I made showing Tom Laporte at Laporte Roofing doing a complete roof job on a beautiful mansion here, not too far from here. And if you guys could watch that video, I'd appreciate it. When I'm going to have it go live after I get off the air. I show every step of the process, right? Before, during, and then after. And there's aerial views and everything with the drone. It's beautiful. And the home belongs to someone who's pretty famous. I can't say who. There we go.
The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm looking out the window. You can tell we're getting bands from that hurricane. We're not getting hit by it here, thankfully so. But I can see the trees blowing in the wind from it. All right, let's go back to the phones. We're talking about quite a few things, in particular Kamala's interview last night on MSNBC. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Patty from New Jersey.
Hey, Patty. What's up?
Hey, so while we're on the conversation of Kamala, whatever you want to call her, lying, Candace Owens came out with a show the other day where she decided to look back at Kamala with all of her lies. So she went back to when she was running for president against Joe Biden, and she apparently published a book, and she had in that book a bunch of pictures in there about her family, okay? And so Candace started to go and research it and come to find out the person in the picture that she's standing with, she's calling her grandmother Beryl or whatever. Well, Candace went back and researched it and found the death certificate. The woman that was in that picture with her, with the name, died 4 years before.
Okay, that is, listen, I do not want to be in a position where it sounds like I'm defending Kamala Harris, okay? Okay, but I watched the video, okay, that Candace Owens put out. And what you said is what you would think unless you watched the entire video, which I did. Candace Owens, okay, and Kamala Harris put out an autobiography. I don't know what you would write about to have an autobiography. She's not really an accomplished person, but maybe if you want to, a sugar baby's guide to success or something, I don't know, or how to find a sugar daddy and get a job in the White House, I don't know, but yeah, I know, they all have books. But Candace Owens, and again, I'm no fan of Candace Owens. She's anti-Semitic and a Holocaust denier. I have no tolerance for that. Okay, so she put out this video, and it said that Kamala's lying about this black woman in this photograph being her grandmother. I saw she put it up she put an announcement out hours before it went public, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. So I actually watched I don't watch Candace Owens too much anymore because I don't like Holocaust deniers, okay? Okay. Well, no, I didn't stumble upon it. I went out of my way to watch it when I saw what she was going to do. And I watched the entire video, and Candace Owens did a lot of clickbait. I'll tell you what happened. She starts the video showing this photograph of Kamala Harris. It says it's a photograph with her grandmother who's black. Kamala Harris looks like she was in high school at the time. And the way she looked like a lot of the girls I went to high school with the hair and the clothes. She's 7 years older than me, Kamala. And she said, however, her grandmother died 4 years before she was born. And Candace Owens went through this video through the marriage certificates and the death certificates of her grandmother. And her grandmother died 4 years before Kamala was born. So how could she be in a photograph with a black woman who's her grandmother? Now, if you watch the whole video, you know who it was. Who was it? It wasn't her grandmother. Who was it?
It was somebody from the slave plantation.
No, it was not. It was her. Yeah, and again, I do not. Please, guys, do not make me defend Kamala Harris. Okay, she's a terrible person. It was her great grandmother. Not only, and that's not. Candace Owens said it was her great grandmother, and she showed photographs of Kamala with her great grandmother, and then compared it to that photo. It's her great grandmother. So the photograph. When she put the photograph in there, she said it was a photograph with her grandmother, not her great grandmother. Okay. Now I was lucky enough to know some of my great grandparents. I knew 3 of my great grandmothers, which is a very unusual thing. My great grandfathers were all dead before I was born, but I knew 3 of my great grandmothers. Okay, and I didn't call them great grandma; I called them grandma. Right. So what Candace Owens did in that video was dishonest. It was dishonest. It was clickbaity, and I'm not giving you any fault because I'm not giving you a hard time. But she put something.
Channel that I was watching it, and I didn't go back.
Yeah, it was her great grandmother, not her grandmother. Her grandmother did die before she was born, but I never. Called my great grandmothers that I knew. I never called them great grandma. I said grandma. Okay, so that's the danger of. That's kind of like when people read headlines, but they don't read the story. You know, people saw the thumbnail on YouTube, or even if you watched the video and you didn't watch it until the end. You wouldn't know this till the end. And Candace knows most people don't watch all the way to the end. And at the end, she even did a photographic comparison showing that it was her great-grandmother. So what she did was Candace, what she did was misleading, I thought. I did not see the one she did yesterday about Kamala's father because I was really pissed at her, actually, that she had this clickbaity thing about the grandmother that wasn't true. It pissed me off. I watched the whole damn video because I need to know about this so I can talk about it. And
So I'm going to go back and I'm going to actually look at her video and
watch the whole thing.
It was on someone else's channel that I saw it.
Yeah, watch. And by the way, guys, after 9 o'clock, do not do this now like PJ. But after 9 o'clock, that's when we're off the air here, go and watch the Candace Owens entire video on the grandmother, and then let me know if I'm wrong. That's what happened. She even does a photo comparison, side by side, of the great grandmother in another photo.
The color picture, and then her other picture.
It's her great grandmother. It's her great grandmother.
But she did in the clips that I saw. She was talking about maybe it was somebody from the Irish plantation or something like that.
It was her great-grandmother, and Candace Owens even says it. All right, I know, but I appreciate you bringing it up. I mean, I'm not giving you a hard time, and I'm not defending Kamala Harris, but Candace Owens is desperate to be relevant, and she's trying very hard to be relevant and doing things like that. All right, I appreciate the call. All right, take care. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. You're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning.
Your great grandmother is your grandmother. I mean, I knew 3 of my great grandmothers. One died when I was really, really young, but 2 of them I knew very, very well, and I always called them my grandmother, my great grandma. You can love her all you want. I don't love Holocaust deniers. She's a Holocaust denier. Bad enough she's an anti-Semite, but the Holocaust denier is just it's out of control.
So make sure you keep an umbrella close by, stay cool, stay dry, and have a wonderful, safe start to your Thursday.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long.
No snowflakes. I don't know what you're talking about. You're hallucinating.
Delay-free, crash-free on the Turnpike at 95 North and South through Delray Beach.
To confirm, we have seen that.
Yeah.
Construction point leads to the road closure, Lawrence Road between Hyperluxo Road and Lantana Road. This traffic update is sponsored
Oh,
by
yeah.
ExpressPros.com. If your supply
Especially
chain
when they're
demands
moving like
flexible
that.
work
Mm-hmm.
hours, hire with Express Employment Professionals. With contract, full-time workers from Express Employment, you get the staff you need and manage contingent labor costs. Learn more at ExpressPros.com. That's ExpressPros.com. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
That interview yesterday, when you played that to me, did you process it in that podcast
Yes.
thing? Yeah.
I
could
use
tell.
that for, like, everything.
I could tell, yeah.
Mike was about to save it, and like put it into the
Did you play the before and after to him? Did he hear the difference? Was it a big difference?
No. Well, okay, so he heard it when we just finished, because I was like, hey, like here, like this is what it sounds like. And then he was about to save it. I was like, no, still gotta process it. And he's like, oh, okay, do your thing and walk away. So I don't think he heard that after.
Was it a big difference? Could you tell him?
So
I've never recorded in that room
more-
before.
Definitely more clear, but like the levels were
Even. It
actually
evens
pretty-
out the levels.
We had you guys actually like at a certain level, and it was about the same before the processing, but the processing made it just a little more elevated.
Yeah.
To be honest. I liked it sound better with the processing because it sounded more. It didn't
Yeah.
sound. I don't know. Weirdly enough, they're both. I think that room really does some magic.
Yeah,
But
it does.
No, the processing definitely like helps it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't bad before the processing, but I still like to do the processing. Cause
Yeah.
just make sure that there's nothing.
Mhm.
You know, that's left in. You know,
Mhm.
clear. So it's already good as it is, but that definitely made sure that was the cherry on top.
Yeah, yeah.
Cherry on top. And I know Mike's gonna hear it. Probably compared to the ones he did in that room.
Oh, he'll see a difference.
Because I saved the backup before the processing, so I have two of them saved.
It's hard for me to do like that because I can't see any levels.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
They were.
And I don't like recording when I can't see the levels. I don't think I've ever done that before actually, without being able to see the levels.
I was gonna say I could show you after.
No, I believe you. I was
You're
worried.
like, blind.
Yes, it's like being blind.
So, Mike just like he knows, like it's so weird. He hears the people's voices and he just knows where to put it.
Yeah.
Like when I was like trying to get you guys where to put
Mhm.
you guys exactly, Mike's like, oh no, Brian's always good, so just leave Brian here, and then we don't
Yeah.
know he's gonna speak yet, so just put him here.
Yep.
And, like for the rest of the time, I was like, oh, okay, like the levels were exactly like the whole show.
Mhm.
Cool. The processes are always so cool, just to see how everything goes.
I know it is. Those presets though are amazing. The ones it's the other ones I use it's witchcraft. I mean, sometimes I use those presets for my podcast, and sometimes I'll record on if the weather's nice, I'll record on my back porch with my wife, and you can't tell we're outside. It sounds like we're in the studio. It's amazing.
So you get to enjoy, it's a beautiful
It's
day,
just,
enjoy.
I don't know how they do it, but if you look inside, you'll see how many different adjustments that are made. It's like 30, 40 things. I don't know how they do it. But if you got to be careful. You open it up, you can mess it up. But
It's easy to mess it up too. You click one wrong thing.
but you'll never find it. No, you'd have to reinstall it.
Like the way I have like Adobe set up, like some people have their own different ways, but like Mike made sure to help me save the presets.
The presets, yeah.
So it's like, hey, like if Marone's about to come in to do it, like just click Marone on the preset.
Yeah, that's how I have them. I have them all here labeled. like the like that one I just had to update, the 2024.
The one that stuff.
You know, yeah. Yeah. All right, we are back. My headphones are not working. Okay, there they are. They're working now. We are back 34 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Callers on hold, stand by. 1-888-465-2631. All right, let's go. We've covered a lot. You know, oh, by the way, Stephanie Rule, I'm not going to play the clip of it. I could pull it up, but I could just tell you. It's going to be everyone's going to play it. She says, did you really work at McDonald's? Yes. Oh, okay. She said yes again. She worked at McDonald's. Where was that McDonald's you worked at? How many of that's my follow-up question. She said she made the French fries. I would ask her what that process was. You know, how many of you remember your first real job where you had to you're a kid and you're doing the time clock? Everybody remembers that. And you remember because it's your first job, it's very clear to you. You know where it was. You know how you got there. You remember the processes that you learned. My first job on the books, where I had to, do something, was at Publix. It was the one on Davie Boulevard. I can even remember the name of the store. 101 was the store number. And that was in 1986, okay? And I can remember Publix 101. That's the store number. I don't know if it's still the store number there. They've torn it down and rebuilt it since because it was 100 years ago. But I remember the whole process of what I had to do and what we went through. So if somebody dared question me, I could even tell you the names of some of the people that I worked with, including some of the managers. You could go back to Publix. I am sure there's a record of my employment somewhere in some warehouse in Lakeland, okay? But this thing with Kamala, she said I made the French fries. Now, I never worked in fast food, okay? The reason I worked in Publix and not the fast food, they paid more. Back then, minimum wage was $3.35. My friends worked at McDonald's for $3.35. Publix paid $3.65, so I worked at Publix instead, 30 cents more an hour. But, I don't ever remember someone who just made the fries. Do you know anybody that just made the fries that worked at McDonald's? Don't you have to know how to do some of the other things? And I'd be interested in her telling us where it was. Where was it? Which location? She remembers. Maybe it's not there anymore, but it probably is. Probably been torn down a few times and rebuilt. They rebuilt McDonald's every 10 years or so. They tear them down and rebuild them or remodel them. I guess it's cheaper than fixing them up. I don't know. But no detail. Just took her word for it. She made that whole thing up. She never worked at McDonald's. And that's okay. But it's her trying to act like she's an average, everyday Jonette, I guess. And when you haven't done any interviews, really, except 2 infomercials, and both of them have been disasters. The first one was a total disaster. This one, it was so bad, what she was saying, that even Stephanie Rule had to correct her. But I bet you, everybody, I'm not going to fill up the phones with people telling me their first job. But if I were to do that, everyone not only would be able to tell me what their first job was, but where it was, what they did, and what the process was. Because it was your first one, and you remember it. Okay, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Yeah, you're on the air.
Can you hear me?
I can.
I am Ben. I am a truck driver, so I'm currently going through the state of Nebraska right now. And the whole, I'm talking about the polls. I really don't believe the polls because I have a feeling, I'm an independent, and I voted for Trump for the last 2 times. But here's my thing is, I think the Democrats and maybe even some independents are going to vote for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Taking these polls, they're kind of scared to say, hey, I'm voting.
You're correct.
Because I have a feeling they're afraid of the backlash that they get.
They can't, it's like a lot of people that are gay, before they come out of the closet, they claim to be bi. They just can't say they're gay yet, so they start with the bi thing. a lot of Democrats that are voting for Trump just can't openly say they're voting for Trump for whatever reason. I agree with you on that. Let me ask you though, you're a truck driver. Why are you an independent? Do you always vote Republican, or do you just vote for Trump?
Years ago, like when Ross Perot even ran, I voted for Ross Perot.
Yeah, I did too.
I was kind of looking at.
Oh, I lost you. What's best for this country? Well, let's go through it. Who have you voted for? You voted for Ross Perot. Sadly, I did too. That's how Bill Clinton won. But who did you vote for after that? Who have you voted for president since then?
I never voted since I started voting. I've never voted Democrat.
Oh, okay, that's good. So, but
Democrats or the Bush. Well, what really everybody call me kind of. I have more conservative views, but I don't register as a Republican. The reason why is I want what's best for this country, even though some of the.
Yeah, but you can't vote in the primaries when you do. So let me ask you though. Yeah, have you only voted for Republicans, or have you voted like for the third party libertarians and stuff for president?
Third party libertarians, yes.
Oh, that's like you might as well vote Democrat.
Well, I just look at the views of these people.
Yeah, but you got to look at listen. You've got to look at who can win. And there's no libertarian, libertarians really piss me off. They really do. And the reason that libertarians piss me off is because you're wasting your vote. You vote for some libertarian candidate, you're really voting for a Democrat. It's hopeless. It's hopeless. You've got to vote for somebody who most represents your opinions, who's also can win. Why do you think Trump didn't start a third party? He could have started a MAGA party, but he didn't. He took back the Republican Party. So anyone who's libertarian that votes libertarian and not Republican, you might as well vote Democrat. You're wasting your vote and you're helping the Democrats.
I don't see it that way.
If you're voting for somebody who's hopeless, tell me the name of some libertarians you voted for president.
I don't even think I don't remember on.
So you don't even remember their name. You don't even remember. So if you've got three people running, right? A Republican, a Democrat, and a Libertarian, you know the Libertarian cannot win, right? You know that. So you're wasting your vote. You're voting Democrat. You're voting for someone who's hopeless. They're not. The Libertarian's not even on the ballot in every state. They can't win. It's impossible for them to win. So you might as well vote for the Democrat.
So if I don't vote Libertarian or Democrat and I vote for a Republican, that really, you know some of the Republicans that do run that are in the.
Other than Donald Trump, okay, you're never going to have a candidate that you 100% are in alignment with.
No, I agree with that. But some of them I just don't. They get in there, and when you look at some of the rhinos in there now, like they just shirt tail.
I understand. I'm not talking about for Congress and stuff. I'm talking about for president. The third party is not viable. The Republican establishment were trying so hard to get Trump to start a third party because they knew that would be a losing thing for him. And he didn't do it. So libertarian, I'm sure there's libertarians on the ballot now. And I'll tell you another thing. This is a very true thing. Libertarian, third party conservative candidates, libertarians, are often backed by the Democrat Party. Why do you think that is?
That I don't know.
And sometimes they put libertarian candidates in congressional races. Why would the Democrats secretly finance libertarian candidates for different offices around the country?
I guess what you're saying is kind of helps their vote.
Correct. Like I voted for Ross Perot too. Okay, I was 20 years old. It was the first time I voted in the presidential election. Okay, we're about the same age. We're a year apart. Okay, I'm a year older than you. And Ross Perot was put up by the Democrats. I didn't know it at the time, but because Bill Clinton did not. He didn't win the popular vote. Ross Perot split the Republican vote because you and I were young, 1920. We didn't know. We voted for him. Well, that's what libertarians do. So Democrats oftentimes back libertarian candidates secretly to split the Republican vote. And they do this on down-ballot races, too. Congressional races, all the time. Yeah, sometimes there'll be Constitution Party people and stuff like that. Yeah. So the Libertarian Party is really a Democrat fake thing. I'm sorry to tell you, and I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but that's it.
It is.
It's the reality.
You think you're voting for what's best for this.
You're not. You're voting for the Democrat. You're voting for You're doing what the Democrats want you to do. If Ross Perot, think about it. You know, at the end of the Gulf War in 1991, H.W. Bush had a 91% approval rating in the United States. No president's ever had that. 91% approval rating, and then he loses like a year later. It's because Ross Perot split the Republican vote and gave it to Bill Clinton. And look what that gave us. All right. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. All right, take care. All right, we'll take a break and be back.
A cold, hard truth. Delivered mornings.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Great. What do you have for us this morning?
Well, estate planning may not be the most thrilling thing to do. You know, there are things that are more exciting than that, but it's one of those things that we do specifically to take care of the people we love and have the peace of mind that we're protected and that everything is set up. We don't have to worry about it. And, you know, one of the things that happens, I pointed this out last week, we get a lot of snowbirds down here, of course, and a lot of them want to get things done and they wait till the very end of the season, and then it's too late, and then they call and they want to come in, but there's no time. Guess what? You're coming down now before things get crazy. Now is the time to get this done, so you're not waiting till the last minute. You're not waiting till April or when the time comes where everybody goes back up north. So snowbirds, now is the time to make sure that you get your Florida documents set up. If you're a Florida resident, you need to make sure that you have your Florida estate plan done if you don't have one. And if you do, then bring it in and it's time to have it reviewed. Make sure everything is correct for you and your family.
Absolutely. And remember, the Siegel Law Group offers free reviews of your documents, even if you had them prepared by another attorney or another law firm. Okay? And it's always a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group when you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio. His number is 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we will talk tomorrow. All right, and we are back. Let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Rob from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, I'm just calling to let you know you're as bad as Kamala.
I'm as bad as Kamala? How am I as bad as Kamala? What have I done that's as bad? What do you mean? What have I done that's as bad as something Kamala has done? Kamala has sex with married men.
100 years ago. So what are you, like 118, 116 years old? What?
That was called exaggeration and sarcasm. I worked at that Publix in 86 or 87 is when I started working there. That was a long time ago.
You said it was like 100 years ago.
That's called sarcasm. Oh, you have no sense of humor. It's called sarcasm, exaggeration. It is 100 years ago for Mike, our board op. I mean, how many years ago was that? That was 24, 34. That was like 30, 37, 38 years ago. That's a long time ago.
Oh, so 35 would have been a more realistic number.
It's called sarcasm. I said when I was in high school, and everybody, I'd say how old I am all the time. I graduated high school in '89. Okay, so I said that was my first on the books job when I was in high school. I don't think anybody thought I went to high school in 1924 with Steve Kane. I just say that because I know Steve's listening, but that's called sarcasm.
Oh, so everything Kamala says, you gotta take it by word for
No. She said that she worked at McDonald's. Okay? Some people
high school.
Okay, hold on. Some people did some research. McDonald's has no record of her, and McDonald's keeps records because they make a big deal about people that worked at McDonald's who go on to do great things. And McDonald's has no record to brag about. What did you do at McDonald's?
Burgers.
Really? Where was the McDonald's at?
In Pennsylvania.
Where? Like what intersection?
322.
What? Okay, there you go. See? Well, how much did they pay you an hour back then? It's your first job. How much did you make an hour?
$7.25 maybe.
$7.25, yeah. See, there's a lot of details that you know and give without even thinking. Like me, I made $3.65 an hour. My manager was Mr. Williams. It's on Davie Boulevard, just east of State Road 7, 441 on the south side of Davie Boulevard. Publix number 101. Because it's your first job, you remember a lot of the details, like you did. Kamala, all she did, I made fries. And they have no records of it. McDonald's has no record of her employment, and they keep everyone's records so that down the road they can brag. Oh, we've got a vice president who started at McDonald's. She doesn't say where it's at. You gave me the address. I don't even know the address. I know where it is. I don't even know the address. You knew the address. Probably more recent. You're younger than me. It's $7.25. Minimum wage was only $3.35 for me then. You understand the difference? You and I got a lot of little details. Kamala's got nothing. That's the difference. So you still want to stick with this thing that I'm just like Kamala? Or do you want to walk that back?
Oh, there's other things that you act like her, but that's...
Give me another one. I'll shoot that one down too. What have I done that's Kamala-like? I know I haven't had sex with married men like her. What have you say that I do things that are like Kamala Harris. I shot down that one. Give me another example. What is something that I do, according to you, that is like Kamala Harris?
I don't have any more right now.
Well, you accuse me. You made an accusation. You are soiling my reputation. You're accusing me of doing things that are dishonest. And don't you think when you accuse someone of being a liar that you should have some examples of them lying to back it up? You just can't go around and call people liars and soil their good reputation without examples. Hello? So do you want to take that back? Do you want to retract your statement and apologize for calling me a dishonest liar? Or you want to still call me a liar without any examples to back it up?
I didn't call you a liar. I said there was more like Kamala than...
No, in fact, you did call me a liar because you have no sense of humor. And when I said I worked there 100 years ago, you called in and called me a liar because it was not 1924. You didn't get the sarcasm because you have no sense of humor. So you were calling me a liar. No, it's not a lie. Okay, so you called me a lie, and I explained to you that's called sarcasm. So now you've had enough time. So you say I'm... No. Sarcasm would be if I never worked at McDonald's. If I went around and started telling people I worked at McDonald's, that would be a lie. If I'm talking about a place I worked at in 86 or 87, it was so long ago, it was 100 years ago, that's called exaggeration. That everyone knows that I did not work somewhere in 1924. Everyone except you in Pennsylvania. What do you do for a living?
I'm in sales.
What do you sell?
I sell modular homes.
Modular homes. I hope you sell modular homes better than you sell Kamala, because you're not very good at it.
Well, we'll see when she's the president.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Sell us Kamala. You're a professional salesman. Sell us Kamala. Why should someone vote for Kamala Harris for president of the United States?
I don't think anybody should. I'm MAGA, but
Oh, you're MAGA. You just told me a second ago that Kamala's going to win and should win. Now you're telling me you're MAGA.
unfortunately, she's going to win.
Unfortunately.
You know.
Why? Okay. Why do you want Trump to win? Why are you voting for Trump?
Trump to win?
That's the question.
Well, I'm voting for Trump for multiple reasons.
Let's hear them.
One is I'm pro-life.
Okay.
Two, I think, I made, my style of living was much better underneath him than what it is now with.
Yep. Uh-huh.
That.
Okay.
But, I'm just a realistic person that, it should be fair to talk about the candidates as is. And
What do you mean? Hold on. Talk as the candidates as is. What does that mean?
working, if you're going to call her a liar for not working, then you got to call yourself a liar for saying it was 100 years ago.
Can you believe this?
Okay.
We know if, listen. They went to McDonald's. McDonald's could not find any records that she worked for McDonald's.
Well, lying about eating cats and dogs,
Trump said that he ate. No, excuse me. Now you say you're MAGA, but you're saying Trump is a liar?
Unfortunately, that's part of his downfall. Is he
really? What has he lied? What has he lied about? What has he lied about, Mr. MAGA?
Well, he's lied about cats and dogs.
What did he lie about cats and dogs? What was the lie?
Well, that people are eating cats and dogs.
In fact, no. Not only did he not lie about that, there were 911 calls and police reports that were made in Springfield, Ohio, of police officers responding to calls of illegal Haitians eating cats, not dogs, cats. There were reports of that.
Even your callers from Springfield.
No, excuse me. One caller, on the first day, a caller from Springfield said her friend's cat went missing. She saw it hanging from a tree being skinned by Haitians in Springfield. They told me on the air.
And they retracted.
Yeah, well, they got to them. Their original story. So Trump wasn't lying. Now, maybe I believe the story to be true. Maybe the story's not accurate, but he was talking about what was being reported in the news. That's not lying. Give an example of him actually lying, Mr. MAGA.
About his, I think he's still lying about his attempts on his life.
His what on his wife?
His attempts, his an assassinated attempt. I think he's lying about.
They just charged a man with attempted assassination. You don't think he was trying to kill President? You don't think there's been any assassination attempts against Trump?
They've all been set up just for his.
But didn't you? I saw him shot on television. I was watching it live on Right Side Broadcasting. He got shot on TV.
He didn't get shot. Look at his ear.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Take care. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. At least he's, not in a business that involves running, machinery or something. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. Jupiter Joe Thomas. He's offering free phone consultations. He has been a financial advisor specializing in retirement planning for over 30 years. Joe Thomas is a 5-time qualifying member of the $1 Million Roundtable, achieved by fewer than 1% of all financial advisors in the world. And he's offering you a free phone consultation, which you could take advantage of no matter where you're located. Give him a call and talk to him about annuities. Annuities, I've heard about annuities all my life. I never understood them until Jupiter Joe Thomas told me about them. With annuities, your money is safe. No matter what the stock market does, your money is safe and secure. You will never lose money, and you can generate income. It's absolutely amazing. I don't know why everyone's not into annuities, quite honestly. Give him a call. Take advantage of this free phone consultation. I'm going to give you his phone number, okay? But if you miss the number, you can also get it on his website, JupiterJoe.com, all right? JupiterJoe.com. His number, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. Talk to him about how you can protect your money from stock market losses, how you can stop losing money on these risky investments, and how you can generate income when you retire. If you have a 401k, he can flip it over into an annuity without effort on your part. Ask him about that as well. Get that 401k actually working for you. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999 and online, JupiterJoe.com. Callers on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be back with your calls and Steve Kane after our top-of-the-hour break. Don't go anywhere.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now, the Steve Kane Show is WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. All Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Marone from
Steve, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
September 26th, 2024. Right now it's 80 degrees outside. As we go through the day, though, temperature
He doesn't believe the cat story, but he believes that Trump was not shot. Yes. I have a headache after talking to that guy. I had to go a little easy on him because it doesn't make me look good debating and tearing down a mentally challenged person.
Service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long.
With this, this Angel water purifier has done, look at my hair. Look at my hair. Look how my hair looks like it's been conditioned. Showering with purified water. I don't know if I've ever showered with purified water before. You'll never see Tim Pool do this. He can't. Tim Pool can't. He's got nothing up here. He would just be scratching his scalp.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the poker room, open every day with 65 tables of poker action, including cash games, daily high hands, mega bag beat jackpots, and exciting tournaments. Bet small and win big with table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum all day.
They did. That lady totally changed her story the next time she called, and she didn't sound right.
Are you feeling safe and secure in your home? Unfortunately, millions of Americans are vulnerable.
Well, no, what I was talking about is how the Angel water purifier, it's without any conditioner. It looks like my hair has been conditioned, and my skin has never felt so clean.
We're offering a free home security system with free professional installation. When you use our low-cost central station...
My hair, if you notice, my hair usually looks darker, It's because you're seeing my natural color when I'm using the Angel Water Purify water system to bathe in. It wasn't his energy level, Freedom Soup. I think he was starting to feel humiliated. He's a mental patient. He thought I actually meant a century ago. The energy got lower the more I pressed him. A young Glenn Beck. I don't know if that's a compliment, Winchester. Exactly. I know. Takes everything literally. I thought Howard Stern said, when he had him on a couple years ago, when he was doing the gray beard, he said he looked like Colonel Sanders. I thought that was pretty funny. You know, Glenn Beck, he's always searching for an identity. For a while, he was a farmer. You know what I mean? He's always trying to look like he's always in search for an identity and a personality. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious when Stern told him that. Looks like Colonel Sanders. I didn't say I didn't like Tim Pool. He's just bald. He wears that cap all the time, so he looks to cover up the bald spot. Howard Stern has his moments. All right, callers on hold, stand by. The third hour has begun. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Ryan.
Oh, my goodness. I feel a lot dumber after that last caller I talked to. I don't know if... oh, my goodness. I ended the call because he's obviously a short school bus guy, and, I felt like I was, abusing a mentally challenged person. Oh, I thought that was a good call. I knew you were going to I almost said at the end of the call, Steve's going to ream me out for talking to that guy. Because I kept him on so long. I knew you were going to give me crap. Yeah, this is usually what happens after the show. My phone rings and Steve telling me everything I did wrong.
We're refining the format here.
Yeah, refining the format. A lifetime apprenticeship. I'm 53 years old, Steve. If I don't know how to do it by now, I'm screwed, okay? Yeah, we'll get it down.
Just make a little...
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We took the break at 6 minutes after 8.
That's when we come back at 6 minutes after, Steve. 6 minute break. All right, our number is 1-888-465-2631. If you're on hold, stand by. Well, let's just go to the phones. I was going to bring up some new stuff, but some of you have been hanging on for a long time, and if you hung on through that last caller, you deserve to not wait any longer. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Top of the morning to you.
Ugh. I'm shocked we didn't hear from you yesterday when we were talking about hookers.
The ending of the show was just priceless.
I'm sure you tried to get through and couldn't.
No, I was on hold when that show ended. It was just...
Oh, you're on hold. I knew we were talking about hookers and we didn't hear from you. You're our resident expert on prostitutes.
Well, wait. Let me just quote,
Who?
McDonald. I'm trying to cue it up. I don't know why it's giving me a hard...
Oh, you're playing a soundbite? Oh, this is going to be good. I know. This is great, Steve. We're doing wonderful. We got all the brain dead calling in. You should have it queued up before...
Anxiety from all of the problems our country has today. You will be protected, and I will be your protector. You will no longer be thinking about abortion.
Donald Trump found liable by a federal jury for sexually abusing a woman. Will be the protector of all women, and they will no longer be.
Okay, all right. Now let me. Okay, Al, slow down. I don't know what that was at the end. What does it mean to be held liable for? Isn't libel like something like writers do? How? Oh, I don't know how someone's liable for a rape. How are you liable for rape? I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense.
What he was trying to convey in his limited ability to express himself was he was using a libel as responsible.
Libel, this is the Anderson Cooper. Okay. Libel, because I just Googled it to get the definition, to get the real definition of libel, okay? Because this thing about being liable for rape, which I just have a hard time understanding, this is what the definition is, okay? Libel is a type of defamation that occurs when a false statement is published in written or graphic form, damaging a person's reputation. So, how is someone liable for rape, Al?
Well, he denied it ever happened. He made fun of the whole incident.
Mm-hmm.
And the jury came to the conclusion that he did what he denied. Whatever he denied, he's too stupid.
Came to the conclusion that it was a bad verdict.
You know, I'll tell you this. Okay, I'll hang up on him since you told me to. But, the thing about E. Jean Carroll, right? If you remember about that case, not only did she not know the year it happened, she didn't know the decade, right? And when someone's raped and they at least remember the decade. The reason she never produced a year or a decade is because he could alibi out. I was in Atlantic City that month. I was in Hawaii. I was at Mar-a-Lago. You know what I mean? So when someone accuses you of a crime, and by the way, that was a civil case, not a criminal case, but when someone accuses you of doing something and they won't even say what decade it happened in, how can you put up a defense and show I could not have been in there? I was in Florida at that time. You know what I mean? So it's ridiculous. All right. I knew he had to have at least been on hold during the hooker discussion yesterday. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. About a number of years ago, I was propositioned by a prostitute at a gas station, and I was live streaming online, and I showed, as I was leaving the gas station, I showed the prostitute and it was completely dark, Steve. Okay. And you couldn't see the gas station. You couldn't see any street signs. All you could see was this prostitute. Al called me on the air that day. He saw the video and told me exactly what intersection it was at. He knew where I was based on just seeing the prostitute. Yeah, well, he must. I would see if I was not in line for the prostitute. But I'll tell you, all of you yesterday that were talking about the glories of prostitution. Prostitutes have sex with people like Al, okay? That should be a big deterrent. Who wants to have sex with someone that's Al? Yeah.
Emotionally.
Yes, that's for sure. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Who put me back?
Oh no, I knew it was you, and this is what I knew it was you. We have caller ID, Al. If you call one more time, you're going to get banned. No, there's no. It's one call per day, and you broke the rule. You call one more time, you're going to get banned. I know you'll tell yourself you don't care because you're showing off for some loser that is your friend, but you will be banned. Which, Steve, you've wanted to ban him for years. I've taught you out of it so many times. Yeah, exactly. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. Larry.
Hey.
What's up?
How are you?
I'll let you know after the call because the calls have really sucked today.
And the idea of lying, what has Kamala Harris been doing for the last 4 years about Joe Biden's condition?
Correct.
About the border, about the economy. Here it is, we're focused on what President Trump knew at the time, which was being reported in the news. And maybe that information has changed, but he didn't lie about it.
Correct.
We're focused on a cat instead of the last 4 years of what Biden and Harris have done to us and lied to us about.
Well, listen, the thing about the cats, I'll tell you about the thing with the cats in Springfield. It's I had people tell me it was true, okay, from Springfield that called me. It probably is true. If it's not true, I believe it to be true, based on what people have said. Now, they have gotten to these people. It's a small town and put the screws to them. However, if it's not true, what you said is correct. People like me and President Trump and Steve, we talked about what was being reported in the news. News develops and things get updated. Doesn't mean you were lying, but it could have been. What's been going on in Springfield's been going on for almost 4 years. So if it's not true, Springfield residents could have said it so that help would be sent to them. So attention to their plight would be known, okay? So I would, if they lied about it, I wouldn't hold it against the people of Springfield.
Yeah, and also...
It was an SOS, a bat signal kind of thing they did.
Exactly, and President Trump put the spotlight on it by saying that in that silly debate that they had.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're going to focus on lying, let's look at the lying that has affected everyone in the country and the world.
Correct.
What these people have done.
Absolutely.
Hey, just so Steve knows, I won't talk about yesterday's show.
Yeah, please don't.
There was a report about legalized sports gambling and the destruction that it's done to mostly lower income people. Domestic violence, alcoholism, drug abuse.
But the issue we're discussing yesterday, which has to do with outlawing vices. Unfortunately, if you...
Steve, there's the drugs are a vice. I mean, there's all kinds of laws regulating vices. I mean, even cigarettes. They don't have the machines anymore. You know what I mean? All those kind of things.
And consenting adults with.
Please, we can't do the hookers 2 days in a row, okay, guys? We can't do hookers 2 days in a row, but we can. One day was too much. I want to talk about game day men's health and low testosterone. It's been a month now since I got my testosterone back, and I got to tell you, I feel taller. I'm the same height, but I feel taller because I'm more confident. I was having a lot of problems, guys, and you may have heard me griping about it. I was not feeling well, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. I had a lot of anxiety. I was feeling sick. I was tired all the time, no matter how much sleep I got. And come to find out, it's because I had low testosterone. Now that my testosterone is back to the levels it was when I was in my 20s, I have my life back. I have my energy back. My life is normal. My wife tells me that that this is what I was like 15 years ago. You know what I mean? And that's absolutely amazing. When we first got married, well, we've been married longer than that. We've been married, it'll be 28 years, my wife and I this year have been married. In December, it'll be our 28th anniversary. But it's really amazing. And when she says I'm like 15, 20 years younger, the way I feel it. I go all day. I don't have those midday crashes anymore. I've even started to lose weight, and my body is toning. And, what happens, because I was talking about game day men's health, I said I haven't changed my eating habits at all. They're just as bad as they were before. I'm losing weight. What's going on? Your metabolism gets sped up to normal levels. So, you know how hard it is to lose weight as you get older? It's because your testosterone's low. Give them a call. By the way, it's a free consultation. They'll test your testosterone while you're there. Okay, the number's 561-355-5341. They're also right across the hall from us here at the radio station. Okay, so if you make an appointment in the morning and you knock on the door, I'll give you a tour of the radio station if you're interested. 561-355-5341. 561-355-5341 for Game Day Men's Health. If you're on hold, stand by. Unless you're Liberal Al, it'll be your last call. I'm not kidding. And I would hate to lose you, Al. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hello, it's Scott Shannon with a quick reminder that the oldies are back on the radio right after 10 this morning, right here on South Florida's True Oldies Channel.
The Red Tag Price Reductions Kia Sales Event will be held at one location only, City Kia of Greater Orlando, just off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot.
Whoa, make
point in your life have you served 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, looking at...
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Hey there, it's Brian Craig. You've heard me tell you about how Dr. Appleton has rid me of pain with his laser away pain treatment. Shoulder injuries, arthritis, knee pain, all gone, and more. But don't just take my word for it. Monica called me live on the radio to tell me how Dr. Appleton rid her of pain.
Brian, my name is Monica. I'm from Boca. I'm calling because several weeks ago I had a lot of pain on my knees, and I went to see Dr. Appleton. He relieved me from my knee pains. I can walk. And this week, I went to see him. I had excruciating pain on my hand, and I had a treatment. And I just want to say out there to everyone, it works. It really works. I am pain-free from my hand. He's amazing. Friendly staff. He's wonderful. And I highly recommend it. And I thank you so much for the recommendation. I'm very grateful.
Call Dr. Appleton right now and say bye-bye to your pain, too. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside, everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
And now a message from Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales. Save 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation.
Well, I'm going to play this sound clip. I was going to play it before the top of the hour when I was talking to that idiot, but when he said that Trump had never been shot, I got sidelined a little bit. But Kamala got caught in a big, big lie in that interview, which I'm going to play when you get back.
CutMyKilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks, easier than ordering a pizza.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueLSLA.com.
All right, call us on standby. You back with us, Steve? Okay, I want to play this clip. I was going to play this before the top of the hour when I was talking to the short school bus guy from Pennsylvania, but I got sidetracked. This is Stephanie Ruhle last night asking Kamala about working at McDonald's. And I got a question about her response, okay? Let me cue it up. Hold on, here it is.
Any point in your life, have you served 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, working at a McDonald's? Yes or no? That's it.
I have.
Okay, now the other job.
But it was not a small job. Like, I did the fries. I mean,
Okay, that 2 all-beef patties on the special bun, that's... Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong about this. I'm not... Isn't that the Burger King jingle? Not McDonald's? 2 all-beef patties and all? That's Burger King. I think... I eat them all. I eat all of them, but I think that's the Burger King jingle that Kamala's reciting. I'm pretty sure. You guys let me know what you think about that. But, you know, and I know people will say, what's the big deal that she's lying about working at McDonald's? Exactly. If someone will lie about things that are insignificant, that's pathological. And pathological liars are dangerous, especially when they're in charge of anything of importance. Okay? And I'm pretty sure that's the Burger King jingle from long ago. 2 all-beef patties on a sesame seed bun or something. Guys, let me know in the audience. Is that the... I don't remember that with... but McDonald's had a song. I can't say it because if I start singing... You won't like it. You're on the air.
Hello?
Yes?
Oh, it's Lisa from Pamela. Yeah, it is a Burger King.
I was right. Yeah. Now, okay. Yeah. Cause I was at Taco Bell and someone was doing a specialty order. And I saw the girl at Taco Bell says, "This is a Burger King. You can't have it your way." She said, "I couldn't believe it. Customer service ain't what it used to be." But so she's telling us. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that when she was in, she did one of those radio interviews. Like you can see it online. There was 3, whatever station it was. There was 3 black gentlemen, and they were drinking. I don't know where it took place. And they were talking about her, Tupac, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I remember listening to him when I was in my dorm room." Mm-hmm. Tupac was 11. No, he was 11 years old when she was in college. Okay, so
yeah. So she's pathological. Reminds me of somebody on the radio in this market, But I'll tell you that this thing about McDonald's is not small. It is a big deal. It's a big deal.
Add up.
Correct.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. All right. Take care. I appreciate the call. See, I was right. That was the Burger King jingle. And she's singing it. To prove that she worked at McDonald's, she's singing the BK jingle. Oh, my goodness. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
James from Atlanta, Brian. How you doing?
Hey, James. What's up?
Yeah. That song is actually McDonald's. I grew up on that.
The woman just told me it was Burger King.
No, that was the recipe for the Big Mac. Remember?
Well, no, I don't. Okay, well we've got some conflict on the jingles. Now let me ask you this though. Why has McDonald's not been able to find any records of Kamala Harris working for them?
Because she's lying.
There you go. She's lying. So if someone would lie about something so insignificant, how can you trust them about anything? I mean, if somebody lies about something that's unimportant, who cares if she worked? Why does she have to say she worked at McDonald's? You
use the right term. She's pathological.
That makes her dangerous.
Right. People that are pathological liars, they make up lies for no reason.
That's correct.
Like how when we were kids, you lied to your parents for no reason and got in trouble for it. You didn't do anything.
That's exactly right. Well, okay. Yeah. I appreciate the call from Atlanta. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Glenn from Mississippi, Brian.
Hey, Mississippi.
Hey, I was about to say, it's definitely McDonald's. I remember it. A liar, and that's just what they do, and they lie so much they believe it themselves. Yeah, it's a habit. They believe their own lies, and they tell lies for so long.
It's like an addiction, is what it is, because it's behavior that they're not trying to exhibit, but they do it on the subconscious level, and it's infuriating.
Exactly, and they do it for so long they have to tell lies to cover their lies when they get caught in a lie.
Yes.
So there you go. Everything she says from day one is a lie, and then she has to lie to cover her lies.
Exactly.
Just like a lot of other in the government that's come out, like on another show when they were talking about the assassination attempt, the first one. He did it. No, he did it. No,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right questions, and here you go. Everybody starts lying to cover their own lies. So there you go.
All right. Appreciate the call. Appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jerry, West Palm Beach.
Hey, Jerry. You're on the air.
Oh, hey, how are you? It's kind of funny how that is the Big Mac.
I knew it was the Big Mac. I knew it was the Big Mac jingle. I'm telling you guys. I tell you. All right. I appreciate the call. I guess I was wrong. You got me. I don't know my fast food jingle, Steve. You guys finally got me on something. Listen, if you're on hold, stand by. Okay? Our number is 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Radio great again.
I'm still not convinced of that. I'm going to look it up. There's something about that with Burger King. I'm looking it up now. Hold on. Let me look it up. Hold on. I just looked up.
From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center. Today is Thursday, September 26th, 2024.
Let me look up
right now it's 80 degrees outside. As we go throughout the day, though, temperatures are going to reach as high as 89 degrees with windy conditions all day. A tropical storm warning until 1:15 p.m., as well as a flood watch and as well as a severe weather advisory. So make sure you keep an umbrella close by, stay cool, stay dry, and have a wonderful, safe start to your Thursday.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling.
I can't find the jingle. It's all coming up in Spanish. Anything with Kamala and Burger King and McDonald's, it's all coming up Kamala.
The All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Up to speed and no delays on the Turnpike at 95 north and south through Jupiter, Palm Beach, and West Palm. Construction with a road closure in Boynton Beach, Lawrence Road between Hypoluxa Road and Lantana Road. You can use Military Trail as your alternate. This traffic update is sponsored by Compassion International. Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year, and they're waiting. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393. That's traffic. I'm Dory Dunn.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Paddock Restaurant's comedy and dinner show season is here. Get your tickets now for comedians Goomba Johnny Saturday, September 28th, and Jimmy Fallon November 15th and 16th. And don't miss 3-course dinner shows with the Pure Zeppelin Experience October 11th, Let It Be November 8th, Penny Nicks November 22nd, and more. The Paddock is also your best bet for OTV action and football Sundays with over 140 HD TVs and 3 big screens. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Are you feeling safe and secure in your home? Unfortunately, millions of Americans are vulnerable to break-ins every year. But what if you can have peace of mind knowing that your home is protected 24/7? At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security. That's why we're offering a free home security system with free professional installation. When you use our low-cost central station monitoring, our top-of-the-line systems are designed to detect intruders and alert authorities and give you real-time updates right to your smartphone. And with our state-of-the-art monitoring center, you'll have 24/7 protection from any threat. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your home and family and your valuables with Sloman's comprehensive home security solutions. Call 1-833-283-50.
You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is. It's a mix of the two. The sesame seed bun is Burger King. Hold on.
Talking about this, so I just want to ask you yes or no. At any point in your life, have you served 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, working at a McDonald's? Yes or no? That's it.
We have private shore excursions, private cocktail parties, group activities. We're going to go to the shows together and much, much more. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot right now.
I can be wrong about something.
5779 561-244-5779 and online at cruisingdepot.com to make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises. Have you noticed that the water in Florida is just not that great? It sometimes has an odor.
doesn't taste good. It leaves residue on dishes and appliances. With an Angel Water purification system, you'll enjoy soft, toxin-free, healthier water for your family. Angel Water will come to your home and test your water for free. They'll set up a whole house water filtration system for your home. Plus, give you a complimentary reverse osmosis water treatment system. Call Angel Water Purification right now at 561-899-6585 and online angelwater.com.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. I am pleased to say our relationship with the Steve Kane Show and the show's listeners keeps getting stronger and stronger. The Steve Kane Show listeners are truly the best customers we have ever had. They are courteous, intelligent, honest, and quite a joy to work with. We have completed thousands of projects for the listeners, from repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches, with great success, and every one of those customers are like family. We have installed all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingles, clay, and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. So come on, and let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602, or find us on the web at laportacontracting.com. The number again is 954-604-4602.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
All right, I will concede I was wrong. It is the Burger King slogan. You got me. Yes. No, I don't have any new polls, Steve. I'll see if I can pull them up. All right. Okay. Now we've got a lot of callers on hold, probably all telling me that I was wrong about the Burger King and McDonald's thing. Let me tell you guys, if you got me on that, and that's the biggest thing you got me on, I think I'm doing all right. Well, the calls are screenless. I don't know what people are calling it about. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, which she stole from my ex-boss, Joe Pine. Get off the phone, you jerk. Exact word. Yeah.
So you think when I get one of these liberals, I should just scream at them and hang up? Is that what you're suggesting?
It's in my character, I'll tell you.
No, I have a lot of patience for liberals. I do. What, on I-95? You know, when I pulled over on I-95, and when I was making that YouTube video and I was showing where they arrested this guy, I put my hazards on. 4 highway patrol officers drove by me that no one stopped to see if I was okay. I mean, what the hell, you know? All right, I appreciate the call.
Well, one more thing, if I could, Ryan.
Yes.
I wanted to tell you the last time we spoke was January 5th, 2020, just as an anecdote.
Okay. I don't remember the call. All right, take care. I'm looking out the window, Steve. It is dark, windy, and rainy. This is definitely, it's hurricane weather. I mean, we're not getting this hurricane here, but we're getting some outer bands of it, I'll tell you. And we very well may have some tropical storm. I mean, I'm looking at this is pretty bad. You know what I'm gonna give everybody Tom Laporta's number. no matter where you are in the state of Florida, write this number down. If you have, after this storm, if you have any damage, you need repairs or replacement of your roof on any type of structure, call Tom Laporta, okay? And remember, he works on every type of structure, single-family homes, commercial, residential, condominium buildings. If you have a condo community, an HOA community, no matter how large or small it is, he can handle the job of any size. But write this number down and keep it because you may not have internet access after the storm. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. That's Tom Laporta. Okay, we cleared out some of the lines. I guess those are the gloating McDonald's people. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. How are you this morning?
I'm all right.
I just want to tell you, I'm calling to congratulate you for what your stand was yesterday on legalizing prostitution. I admire that about you. You don't know how much that meant for women. Because women, although that they find themselves in a difficult situation of making a decision of being that or not, is very hard for them to deal with because they have to sleep with so many men without wanting to do it, and at the same time they are abused, they are mistreated, they are beaten by their pimps. It is a sad world for these women. I know because I work with them. And I know the difficulty that they go through every single day. So you standing up for what you believe, which is not legalizing it.
All right.
I commend you for that. It's very difficult, okay? Well, Steve always is looking to talk about no, we're not going to talk about hookers. We're not going to talk about hookers, okay? All right, okay. Don't worry. Steve, the calls are screenless. I can't help what people talk about when they get on the air. I don't want to just hang up on somebody. Well, let them get their thing. Well, we heard from a lot of perverted, creepy men yesterday, and I can understand, a woman wanting to get her thoughts out. No. Oh, really? So you and those other guys are creepy. Okay, I get it. No, listen. When you look at, I'll pull up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them queued up for today, Steve. Might have to wait till tomorrow because Well, every poll has Trump winning. I mean, there's every poll everywhere has Trump winning. All of the polls show, and it's not just Nate Silver anymore. It's all the major polls. Not only have Trump winning, he's winning in states and categories where 4 years ago he was polling behind, sometimes way behind Joe Biden. So it's not just a couple of polls, it's pretty much all of them. And the more that this continues, you're going to see the polls become more and more accurate as time goes by. But which one, the interview or the speech? I did see some of her economic speech, yeah.
I think that's something really to talk about. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Coherent.
Yeah.
They put her up there. I don't know what they're thinking. I guess they're thinking they have no choice.
Yeah. No. Well, they got to put her out there sometime. That's true. All right. I was going to go to the gold report. Okay. All right. So let's take our break. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Thursday Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking?
Metals looking strong, continuing its upward trend and making new highs almost every day. Gold yesterday closed up just 30 cents after getting up to around $2,670. So closing out today at $2,656.70. Silver silver lost 28 cents at $31.76. Platinum was up $1 yesterday, closing at $9.88, and palladium was down $19 at $1,027. The rally continues today as gold traded in a range of $26.54 overnight, all the way up to $2,685, getting close to the $2,700 number. Right now we're at $26.70. That's up $13.30. Silver's up 44 cents at $32.20. Platinum is up $22 at $1,010, and palladium is up $15 at $1,042. So these markets continue to show incredible strength.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and we talk so much about you selling, but you also buy the metals. I mean, this must be a time, William Youngerman, where people are coming in with old jewelry and things and are shocked at how much the items are worth.
Absolutely. We are seeing more and more people bringing in stuff that's been laying around, not worn, and either broken or just been out of style, and they're taking advantage of this nice opportunity to get cash in their gold jewelry for top line.
Absolutely. So listen, give William Youngerman a call. He opens up at 10 a.m. His number, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. You can stop in. His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And you can find both his phone number and address on his website, WilliamYoungerman.com. That's WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll finish out the week tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, back after this. All righty, we are back. I'm Brian Steves here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, JJ.
JJ, what's up?
Well, this one came out. Let me pull it up. This one just came out today. It was a poll, one of the Notre Dame students. The Notre Dame students, 4 years ago, it's the same poll. 4 years ago at this time, right? The Notre Dame student poll gave Biden over Trump 66-29. So Biden had a 37-point lead in the Notre Dame student poll 4 years ago. Today, Trump versus Kamala, Trump leads by 2 points, 48-46. So that is a massive, that's a 19-point jump for Trump among Notre Dame students, is what it is from 4 years ago.
My question was going to be, which you have the answer, was it a 1 year or because if it's a 4 year, then that's, in other words, this is a new crop of kids who are
getting it. They're figuring it out.
I don't know. Obviously, it's new kids because it's been 4 years. I mean, although a lot of them might be on the 6-year plan or something. But I think it's, if you look at a lot of the polls that have been coming out in the last few days, they're doing something I've never seen before. They're not just showing you the numbers today. They're showing you the numbers from 4 years ago. Like I had one yesterday. It's so far down on my Twitter, I don't even know if I can find it. But it was of the Teamsters, and it was comparing the Teamsters from 4 years ago to today, and it was just dramatic, And I've never seen pollsters show the comparisons between the two elections like this before. This is something new I've never seen before.
I think they're laying the groundwork to make sure that this is just showing that the nation, from the Teamsters to the college kids to everybody, it's finally hit sort of a.
Well, let me give you an example. This is the Teamsters poll, okay? In Arizona, 4 years ago, Biden was beating Trump 54.4 to 29.8. So Biden clear lead in Arizona 4 years ago. Now, this is just with Teamsters. Now Trump leads 57.3 to 38.7. That's a 43-point swing in Trump's favor. And you can go through all the states like that with the Teamsters. It's a regular thing right down the line. I mean, I could go through them all, but I would be over. Every state is that way among the Teamsters, and I've never seen the comparisons 4 years apart ever published before. So a lot of these polls, you see Trump ahead like 2 points, but he's really gained 40. You understand what I mean? From the last time. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Hi, Steve. One thing I think that's happening is that people now are getting a chance to compare the economic programs that Kamala's proposing and Trump's proposing, and they are totally polar opposite. Trump's got innovative things he wants to do. They will, I think, rocket this economy once they take hold. Kamala has no grasp of anything. This woman wants to tax unrealized capital gains. What is she talking about?
Yeah, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's an ignoramus.
She's really a total ignoramus.
The thing last night on Fox, I was watching, I don't know who it was, but they were going over some of the poll results, and they were taking it line by line, and each line that they would compare what
calamity is a good way to say. I mean, calamity. Kamala. You know what, Steve? I'll tell you what you'll never forget. Willie Brown's girlfriend. That's easy to remember.
Willie Brown's girlfriend, they broke it down line by line, and there's no there. None of the lines by themselves make sense. It's coherent.
If you implement any piece of her program she's proposing, it will be a disaster for an economy that needs a boost. And you hear Trump talking about being used, the tariffs on products coming in here, getting the not selling our steel industry away, not losing our car industry. This woman will lose everything. She has no clue about anything.
That's true. That's true.
Pay attention to this.
Look in the polls, do you think?
Well, that's why Trump's ahead in every one. The Quinnipiac switch totally interesting. What the polls are showing is that Trump could win the popular vote. That's what the latest polls have been showing. Could.
Republicans haven't done it in how many years, huh?
I don't know. I mean, you don't really need the popular vote, but he could win it.
Ground game?
I don't know what you mean. Oh, there is no ground game. They got nothing. The Democrats have nothing. It's hopeless. We're doing fine. That's why we're ahead in all the polls.
And our economic policy, they are self-destructing that whole Democratic Party because the people are not going to put up with this ridiculous.
Well, I'll tell you when this is over, one of the most important people in this election. You talk about ground game. You okay? Okay. One of the most important people in the ground game who deserves a lot of credit for these polls is Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk has, we've got this Gen Z vote behind Trump, and that's Charlie Kirk. The Notre Dame poll, right? That's all Charlie Kirk's work. And so.
Despair. Look at her when they give her a follow-up question when she makes an economic comment about her plan. There's nothing there. She can't defend it. She doesn't even know what the hell she's talking about.
Mm-hmm. All right, I appreciate the call. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, Eric in Texas.
She in her interview, she says that she was doing something important like the Fry Girl. That's a line out of Coming to America. At McDougal's.
Really? Is that from Coming to America? I'm still not ready to concede the Burger King thing. After the show, I'm going to pull up all the jingles and play them. I just couldn't do it in this last half hour because I'm on the air. The Fry Girls from Coming to America. That's okay. McDougal's. All right. The thing about Kamala Harris, though, this is the thing, and this is what's scary. The reason she's doing so poorly against Trump is because the country's in such a bad spot. If this were if things were good in America, she'd have a chance. But a lot of people that normally don't vote Republican are going to vote for Trump because of how bad things are in the country, all around the border, the economy. I don't need to go through the list. And it's not it is true, and it's not enough. No, it's not. It's true. It's not enough. No, it's scary though, because times will be good in the future, and we'll have a vacuous person. It's not enough to go around and say, "Vote for me. I have a vagina and brown skin," which is basically what she's saying. And
start to deliver, which we will, because that's his history, or our history. Then that sets our vision in stone.
Yeah, no, that's true. But she's All right, hey, listen. All right, maybe McDougal's can produce some employment records. Now, I want to talk about Sloman's and the free doorbell camera, which offer with the installation of your Sloman Shield. If you guys have not done this yet, call Sloman's. Get your doorbell camera. It's so convenient. It's part of your security system, and it's a great part of home security. We have this security system here at the radio station, but it's also just convenient. Imagine you get a notification every time someone's at your door. You never have to get up to open your door ever again, or peek out the window and they see you, and you're like, "Oh no, I didn't want them to see me." You don't open it. It's really a great thing to have. I don't know how it is in your community, but I have a lot of solicitors in my neighborhood. I don't know if you get them, Steve. It's like nonstop. Oh my goodness! One guy caught me yesterday because I was outside from AT&T. The guy wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave. If I'd have been inside and he came by, he wouldn't have gotten a chance at me. But the solicitors, I never open the door for them. They never catch me, except this guy when I was outside doing some stuff in the garage yesterday. But you can get a doorbell camera from Sloman's for free with the installation of your Sloman Shield, okay? They're also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts, a lifetime warranty, as well as a backup battery, and a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. I'm going to give you the number. It's 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. Give them a call, get that free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman's Shield. Okay, well, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty because September's almost over. And, I'm not into suspense. I don't even like suspenseful movies. But this is like real life. And I'm... Oh, yeah, I mean...
So in the back of my head, it's saying there will be no end.
No, Steve. The way the polls are going, like with the Teamsters, those Teamster polls, and it's every battleground state with the Teamsters, where they've switched from Democrat to Republican from 4 years ago. It's not just the Teamsters; it's their wives, right? Of all those Teamster members too, and maybe even their adult children. The swing in favor of Trump from the Democrat Party has been massive, mainly because of the economy, then the border issue. And if it's true, which there's no reason to doubt it, even on CNN they're talking about this. We're going to see some states that are blue go red. And a lot of them are on the East Coast. Somebody goes red that's a blue state early on. Domino effect. Well, that would be crazy. New York hasn't gone Republican since Reagan, like in '84. Yeah.
We keep drawing the parallels between Reagan and...
Trump's more popular than Reagan. It's just the demographics of the country have changed. You know what I mean? I mean, they still spoke English in California when Reagan was running. You know what I mean? So when I went and visited my daughter in L.A., I was there for like 3 or 4 days. I don't think I saw hardly any white people. It was all or English speaking. I felt like I was on one of our cruises, Steve, in Mexico. Tell you the truth, but there were some white homeless people, I must say. I will point that out. There's a bunch of new laws coming in effect in Florida, including homeless people can't sleep outside now. as of October in Florida. Yeah. That's right. DeSantis has done some good things. I hate to say it. Well, listen, that's it for today. Tomorrow, believe it or not, is already Friday. That means open phones, okay? That any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. The other days of the week, we try to rein you in to talk about what we talk about, but on Friday, the show prep is up to you guys. Open MAGA Mike Friday. That's tomorrow already. It's Friday. The week has flown by. So that show is either the best show of the week or it's depends on you guys. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, is here. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Now, listen, guys, if you've not already done it, order your copy of Robert Allen Miltenberg's The Sound of Light. It's a science fiction book. It's available on Amazon, and there's a link in the description of the video. But you could just go to Amazon and search The Sound of Light from Robert Allen Miltenberg, and it'll pop up. All right, guys, I will see you later.